welcome to another episode of You,
Me,
and
the Flea.
Thanks for coming back.
Yeah, thanks for coming back, guys.
Thanks for coming back. Shout out to
Episode
coming.
38. You know, that's almost 52 would be a year. 52 weeks are in a year.
Wow.
So we're approaching.
Rachel's a mathematician.
Right. That's definitely a lie.
Rachel's a number girly.
If it comes to money, I am.
Do you know today's topic?
Is money, honey.
Literally money, honey.
Okay, this is what I mean. Like
It's
sometimes.
pretty, I know.
Are you
We're
in
here.
my head?
We're here. Guys, today's getting deep. I know lately we've been really throwing some deep combos your way.
We're like.
And today's no different.
It's like poetic justice, if you will.
Yeah. It's our way of like chatting real.
Real time.
Things are real out here.
We always can I feel like you gotta we have like two different backgrounds. We work in the flea market industry. How does all of this go together?
Yeah.
We're gonna tell you.
How is this real life? And I think I hate, it's really weird because money has a weird stigma of like not being talked about, right? And I feel like there's so many topics that people are talking more about, especially in podcasts, right? Where it's like sex or their feelings or, you know, maybe it's mental health issues or, health
gossip,
issues in general. Yeah, exactly. There's so many things out there. And there are there are a lot of business podcasts. I'm saying that, but not enough, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Talk about like money, the hardships of it, and things like that. So we're going there today.
Let's get dirty. Let me tell you, this is one
we're gonna
topic.
have a raw and open conversation here about money, honey.
I love some money, honey.
Obviously, like the high cost of living and inflation, and so. And we've talked about kind of these topics before in a different sense, but today I kind of just want to talk like off the grid about some of these topics. Yeah. And then of course, circle back to some things that we can always incorporate, but let's dive in. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So I guess let's talk about the inflation and its impact right now. So how you feeling?
Okay. So this is weird because like instantly I'm already thinking, so like inflation and all this kind of started happening, I would say last year of COVID, kind of everything started going up during COVID. Okay. During that time, I had also been laid off. And I remember the biggest, like I had always wanted to start my own business. And I felt like that was like the worst time to do it,
right? But
also the best time. Money was always a factor in why I did not start earlier because I was comfortable making what I was making in corporate America, and the way inflation was, the way rent was, especially living in a big city. Yeah. I just felt like there was no good time to do it.
Right.
Then I get laid off, and it literally inspired me at that point to like start my own business. And I always said if I could make the same amount of money that I was making in corporate America in my own company, that was like the dream for me. Right. I'd never realized how much anxiety I had around going to work in corporate and working for other people until I stopped working for them. Mm-hmm. So to kind of circle it back to like money, I feel like with inflation and the way that like everything is, people are really paying attention to their money and how things are spent more than ever.
Of course.
Like I never, ever paid attention to like receipts. Like, okay, I did, but like not when I would go to Mariano's.
Totally.
I would go grocery shopping, or I would have groceries delivered. I would order everything I needed, waters, drinks, everything. Yeah. And then like that was it.
Yeah.
I literally budget my grocery list. There's just some stuff I do not buy anymore.
Right.
I mean, now I understand why people like buy like off-brand. Like Kraft, and then there's like the Mariano Kroger brand or whatever. Yeah. It's all the same. But I never like paid attention to that stuff until we really started getting into inflation. And I feel like a lot of people can kind of relate to that. What about you? Like, do you pay attention? Did you before?
I mean, No.
Like before
Never.
COVID or like
Ever.
I guess maybe in the middle or end of COVID. When did you start like actually like how is my money like I literally feel like sometimes I'm like, did someone rob me?
Well, I think, growing up, it was so interesting because, with immigrant parents and, not good incomes with them, bare minimum wage. I mean, we were very low class at that point. And so always kind of seeing them budget and figure out how we were going to make it. And they did it without us kind of ever knowing that we were in those positions,
until
right?
you like got older.
Yeah, of course. And like now,
parents are like they're like warriors.
Yeah, they really truly are. I mean, and I hope I get to embody that moving forward too. But it's interesting because you hit a few points on where it's like, I am not like, I don't care if it's like an off brand. If I like, you know what I mean? If you want a specific like cereal or something like that, like, yeah, if I'm able to save $1 or $2, like, why wouldn't you just grab this brand? Now, if you're married to a certain whatever, then do
I
you.
get certain things are better.
Yeah.
Like Velveeta cheese macaroni, little shells.
Of course.
I feel like are better the Velveeta brand.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's a preference, right?
Right.
Like, that's fine. But I used to be that jerk that literally would never shop. Like, I would shop off season. So if I, like, for example, if I want Honeycrisp apples, I'm getting Honeycrisp apples. Whether they're $4.99 in season or $9.99 now, I'm like, that's my apple. I'm getting it. Like, and you just kind of really can't do that stuff anymore. Like, you can, but it's like, you
gotta like limit how much of that you're doing per like session.
Yeah. But to like answer, I mean, yeah, I think I've always kind of been the person of, no, I never really looked at that stuff. Or like, even like, I look back to like when I was like in college and I was working so many jobs, I was a waitress making cash, right? And so it was like, I would go into a shift being like, I need to make $80 because I want this thing.
Yep.
And, or like, I need to pay for my tanning package and it's 60.
Oh my
a
God.
tanning package. I know. But it would be like $69 for like an unlimited month. And I'd be like, all right, I need to make $80 so that I could put $15 in my gas tank and then pay for my tanning membership.
Yes.
Like, how sick.
Yes.
But I would figure it out. Do you know what I mean? Like, I always kind of was like, all right, I need this, this, and this, and then I need $5 in my glove box just in case, you know? And then tomorrow's shift, I would like worry about it each day.
I'm going out that I want a new outfit.
Yeah, and then as an adult, like you're saying, when you go to corporate America, now you're getting a lump check. It was like,
I'm bawling.
Right, as soon as I pay my bills, now I got this little fat stack. Yeah, and you're just like, swipe, 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 and before you know it, it's whatever. But
I mean, there was a time where I was literally just buying.
Yeah.
I remember going to Zara, and maybe it was like when I first moved to Chicago. So this is like over 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And every time I would get invited to somewhere, I would have to buy a new outfit.
Yeah.
Like even if it was something different.
Yeah.
And I would just go to Zara, and I remember just like never looking at the total. And now I'm like, yeah, right. When's the last time I went and just like
and just browsed and bought whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Obviously.
So how have you changed? Because I know you don't. You're mentioning you never really looked before. So how have you, kind of changed now? Like, what do you do differently? Are you actually adding it up? Like what?
Yeah, I think the number one thing, right, is we're older. We're a little wiser, so we write things down now.
Oh my God, I know. I
we plan things out a little bit, So I would say that's number one, maturity.
Yeah.
Like you figure out whatever. Now too, like I'm thinking about different things. Like with that being said, I'm thinking about, I don't want to work till I'm 65, 75. Like, now if all this crap happens with Social Security and stuff, like I'm sorry, I'm not trying to limp and like do my job.
No.
Like that's not the move. So with that being said, it's like now I have things in investments and I do like and I'm trying to like plan and forecast for that.
For your future.
Or healthcare. Like,
yes.
I don't want like some of these burdens to like fall on people. I've seen that. It's nasty. So, I mean, to answer your question, I think about those things.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you balance it out. Like, where do you want to kind of put your funds?
Yeah.
Like, I do want a social life still. So it's like, am I willing to sacrifice maybe a few meals a week on something cheap and like cereal or a sandwich or like something easy so that I can go out to eat with my friends on Friday and Saturday or something like that? Then I will, you know?
I literally just made an Instagram post about this on my personal page.
Yeah.
You know, I love Botox. However, it is $800.
Yeah.
I personally right now would rather put my $800 towards my company, towards a photo shoot, towards refinishing my house, anything. Yeah. And like that for me is like maturity. Hello. It could also be inflation. The prices have gone up, ladies. The units are pricey.
Yeah.
But like that exactly. I'm like, you know what? I could invest this into a different account and start building this somewhere else.
Exactly. You have to like weigh out your options. You do.
It's like, what is important to you? Something that's going to make you look good for literally 4 months and you're going to have to redo it. Something that you can put in an account, build on it, collect, like, or invest it in something. So I totally understand that.
Yeah.
Making like smart, conscious money decisions for your future.
Right.
That's what I feel like we're at right now.
I will say too, like one thing I used to do was like,
I know you're a big shopper.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I feel like you order so much. I always am like envious. Sorry.
My jaw is on the ground right now. Excuse me. Okay. Well, yeah, because I don't buy the things you do. You know what I like?
But yes.
Yeah. I mean, again, I think everybody has their tick, their ick.
Yeah.
And I have mine. I'm not saying mine, okay? But no, and actually that is exactly what I was going to just touch on. Like, I was very much so like, oh, it's a new season. I need 10 new clothes, like 10 new
jacket.
items.
I need new boots.
And anytime any freaking store that I love throws a semi-annual at me,
I have to go.
I'm like, that shirt's $12. I have to have that shirt.
And then if you spend 20 more, you get free shipping. So why not spend 50?
I didn't even go there. I'm like, these shirts are $10. I need 10 of them. For what? You know what I mean? And like now, again, and so now I'm like, I have these 10 shirts that I bought all for $12 and they're sitting in my closet with tags. And I'm like,
why did I buy this?
Exactly. It was just
how many times am I going to wear a different shade?
Such a dumb decision. And now like, I am thinking like, I guess that's like one thing I would do is like, because of the way I was like waitressing and in college, kind of like, you know, I want this money so I can do this. I want this. It was so like day to day. Yeah. But now, and so now, before I should say, it was like paycheck to paycheck, where it's like, okay, wait, this paycheck's going to pay my bill. So my next one, I'm going to shop. And it's like, did I really need to?
Oh my God. I literally had the same mindset. Yeah. This one will go for rent. This one, I could literally we could book a trip right now. Oh yeah. We could go ball out. I'm like, stupid things where why are we getting bottles?
I would even get like a ridiculous amount of groceries, knowing that like I had, you know, like somewhere to go one of the days or this one of the days, and then I'm throwing out all the food.
Okay, that like breaks my heart now. That's where dude, I don't know if it's because is so expensive. I am like, figure out a dish to make this. Okay, there's some tortellini left. What kind of thing would my mom make with this?
Girl, I'm like, I have 5 leaves of spinach. What can I do with it?
Throw it in a protein shake. Yeah. Throw it in a little cream.
I will saute it.
Yep. Amen. Put it on top of an egg.
Like, I know. It's so just crazy. It's crazy. What do you think about like...
You know, I just want to touch on this. It's like, we have this conversation like kind of raw, unhinged. Mm-hmm. And I really do like hope that you guys appreciate these, because this is like, we're not writing out this stuff beforehand. We're literally just talking from like the heart. Like truly we're going through the same thing like everyone is going through.
I think we feel you.
Yeah. And I will say, like, you know, not to sound bad, but like it does make me feel better that like the whole world is like going through it together.
I know.
You know, like, okay, maybe you're in the rich 1%, but whatever.
Everyone sees like struggles differently, and I think, you know, maybe it's weird because maybe I'm in a good financial spot
compared to someone else, but
something like a catastrophe can happen to me, and then I'm back to square one. Yeah. You know, like it just so quickly can happen to anybody.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Yep. Or like maybe someone is gradually going down, someone's gradually going up, someoone's like plateauing, someone's
everyone's
like
journey and timeline is so different.
And so I think like what's interesting about money conversations though is like you can get motivated to like do better, to do,
For sure.
you know, to change up your habits or something like that. So that's kind of why I wanted to bring it up anyways. But do you know anything about crypto?
Yeah.
What do you know?
I have some.
You do?
Yeah, I have stocks, girl. Back from the days when
cryptocurrencies.
Yes.
Really? I like
it. Not a lot. So like when I worked in the mortgage world, you know, it was all male based industry.
Yeah, dominantly.
I was the only female in the office. These guys would be talking about Robinhood, right? Which is like you can go buy stocks, cryptocurrency. And I'll never forget it. Like one day I like walked by and I was like, what do you mean you're up like X, Y, and Z? I'm like, I know like the very minimum about stocks and like crypto.
You might have to teach me because I don't.
It's
like
interesting.
tried to educate myself. I try listening to people and I still.
It goes so up
grasping.
and down. Like there's like, you know, when I first got it, it was like up, up, up. And I had like almost like 1,000 made from it. But then like I literally looked today and there's like 250. So like it's gone down. Like the price has gone down.
Okay.
I don't like what I know is literally from what they told me. I have like not enough knowledge to like go on a podcast and be like, well, this is what I got to tell you about crypto. We can talk off the record.
Okay. Yeah. You'll have to.
Why were you, or what are you going at with this?
I was just honestly curious. It's a financial topic that comes up a ton. And I, again,
There's
like I said, just really,
you know, like last year was,
so.
Okay. So like last year was like, there were times where it was like not good. Everyone was saying it was like, and it was like fraud,
right? But then there was
now we're up and up again.
But there was a time a few years ago even too where they thought like that would be the new payment option.
That was literally when I was in the mortgage world. That's what made me buy it, and it was like going up, and then when it drops, baby, it drops.
Seriously.
Yeah.
What about like remote? Let's talk like remote work and finances in terms of like, you know, tax deductions and things like that. I know like you kind of moved into that recently, but curious kind of like how your habits of spending have changed because of that specifically.
Because I'm remote?
Yeah, I mean, not necessarily like, okay, right, like let's take a person that works I don't work remote, but let's take someone that, you know, works remote, right? So before maybe you were spending, I don't know, an X amount to transport yourself to work, whether it was driving or a bus or train or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
So
and now you have more expenses because maybe you need more gigs in your internet. Or
that's what I was going to say.
You're paying for a phone line or, you know.
All of the devices are, the company's not giving you.
Right.
So like iPads, laptops.
Right.
Internet. My internet used to just be like your normal.
Right.
I pay like almost $165 for the internet a month.
Right.
Which like some people are like, what? Okay, but we have literally, no joke, maybe 14 different devices connected. It's like your Apple Watch, your AirPods, the laptop, the iPad, the podcast computer, this and that. Yeah. So you have to have like that storage. Now, when you work for corporate and you have a Canva account, they're paying for that. So I pay for the Zoom business on my own. I pay for, you know, like the pro services on my own. So like those expenses have gone up.
Yeah.
But then like me actually commuting to work, Ubering, or like taking them, you know, public trans, I don't really have to do unless I'm like going to meet with a client.
Right.
I would say for me, what has gone up expense wise is the technical part of it.
Okay.
Buying like the equipment, the internet, the cell phone, having more data, having more storage, the different programs I use. You know, I use like a pro editing program. So all of this stuff is available at like the free level, but because of like the amount of videos I'm doing, I have to like up. So, you know, before I could edit for $0, now I pay $49.99 a month. So like that kind of stuff.
No, of course.
But then like when it comes to like commute, I'm not paying there.
Right.
So
or
I feel like
wardrobes or lunches.
Correct.
Or like going out.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like I actually I save so much more money working from home.
Really?
Yeah, because like we eat here. I eat here for lunch.
Yeah.
I have a whole designated office. Like I think that's like crucial too, is like you literally, the only way I'm like successful working from home is because like I have a literal area. It's not like there's no TV where I work. It's a whole room. Like it feels like I can close this door and I am gone. Work is done. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I think it kind of like depends because, you know, how much would you say, okay, so you work at the office.
I do, yeah.
What are you paying for transportation and or lunch every week?
I mean, that is it's pretty nasty, right? It's like, you know, I'm paying for a car lease that has gone up probably double than what it was 2 years ago, right? Where you would pay like a normal, you know, on average, right? For like an average SUV, you would pay in probably 2018, $300, 350, 80 bucks.
Isn't it now like 700?
Oh yeah.
A
easily
month.
780, 790 for like the same exact vehicle, right? Like crazy. So it's like that, and that's gone up. Insurance has gone up. Now I'm also paying for gas, and I work, you know, in the field, so I need an iPass, and you know, just stuff like
How
that.
much is
kind
that?
of like day to day. I mean, it depends like where you go. It's every toll. So each toll is like kind of different, but I mean, those have
I don't
gone
know
up
how
too.
they work. Like, do you pay a year for your pass to go
No, so
anywhere? Is it monthly?
Each time you go through a toll, you're paying for,
and
know,
it's just
70
regular,
cents, $1.50, whatever it is. Like,
they just raised it.
it's just, well, and that's the thing too. Like if you're paying cash, it's double. So if you have the iPass, you pay like a one-time fee, $60 to get it. I don't know, whatever. So anyways, that's an expense. Gas. Gross. Like, you know, that's up and down. So that's an expense that you might be able to budget for, but then that could change in 5 months.
Yeah.
You know, it's that. Then you have, you know, maybe a coffee to pick yourself up one of the days, and then, you know, lunch with colleagues one of the days, or 2 of the days, or 3 of the days, because you want to like do that and keep your social life up. And because I go to work every day, like I can't roll over in my pajamas or whatever. I do have to get dressed. So now I'm wearing makeup every day and doing my hair every day and getting myself prepared every day, whatever that looks like. Snacks, like it's crazy. So I mean, like, you know, and everyone used to do this, like whatever, even if you're a nurse or whatever, like it's just, I think it's like this for everybody, not just me, but it's just so interesting to, because I think a lot of people automatically assume if you're working from home, like expenses are cut, but it's really truly so different too, you know? It's just different kinds of expenses, like you're saying. So I think it's really interesting.
I think too, even if you're like self-employed or corporate, expenses are so different.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Like, I wish my job still paid for my health and dental insurance.
Yeah. I mean, think about like teachers.
I'm like, why is it going up literally $80 from a month ago?
Yeah.
Come on.
Think about like teachers though, where it's like they don't even get stipend for like markers and crayons
that is
and like basic
baffling
necessities
to me. Like always in the summer when you see like the teacher like wish list or whatever,
drives me nuts.
I'm like, how are you
sad.
you are literally teaching our next generation and you are supposed to provide all of this on your own
on a salary
that's me, honestly.
It's on a salary that's like terrible.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, but anyways, I feel that. What about like investments? You mentioned you're in crypto, but like, have you thought about like during this time, like any, you know, retirement and future planning? And
yeah, I mean, this is what I was just talking to my mom about actually. And I was like, because she's always asking me like, oh, do you think you'll ever go work for someone again? I'm like, no, never. I mean, I don't want to say never. I never want to say never, but like
you work for yourself, but you do work for clients. That is
correct.
Still working for other people, technically.
Correct. She was just asking me. She's like, you know, I just want you to like think about, you know, like a 401k and stuff, since like you're not getting like a match from a company,
right?
Which I totally agree with. So like that is something like, honestly, that I want to accomplish like in January, just to kind of like get something rolling,
or at least figure it out and a path for it.
I'm all about investing though. I think if you talk to like a financial, I mean, you need to talk to like the right person. Don't come to me for investing advice. I'm not going to give you the right one.
Right.
I'm going to say go invest in a Chanel bag and then don't use it in 20 years, sell it. Because you could do that.
Yeah, you could.
But I'm just saying, like, I wish that it was talked about more. I wish, like, when we were kids, I wish when we were in high school, college, like, they don't talk about any of this.
I know.
You need to literally read NerdWallet and figure it out on your own. You know?
I know. I've lately been so into following a lot more people on my social platforms that are,
like,
you know,
beneficial people.
Yeah,
who are going to help you grow.
The ones that are saying if you put, you know, $100 aside, or there was one that said like, you know, whatever X amount you put away every month, you can have $1 million by this day. I'm like, that is what I need to hear.
Yeah. So how much was it?
That $350 or $300 a month. And so if you start in your 30s now doing that in your Roth IRA, I think you would get $1 million by the time you're 65.
Huh.
So
we're gonna need I'm gonna need that link.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, I love that. Investing is something I like recently dabbled into, probably a few years ago.
With your condo, right?
Well, no, yeah, real estate investing was. I mean, yeah, that was like a few.
You've always
10 years ago.
Yeah, I feel like you have your hands in multiple different pools, but you're really good at like. I feel like I look up to you.
Oh, wow.
For like financial stuff, because I feel like you own a condo, you rent another one out.
Yeah.
Like you do very well for yourself. And I feel like you live, I don't want to say I live above my means, but I definitely could splurge less.
Yeah.
Personally.
It's a tough thing to do. And it's crazy because I feel like I don't invest enough. You know what I mean? Like, I would love to like find like a brand, you know how people are like, oh, I believe in, you know, this
Stanley.
mission, or yeah, exactly. Or like there's so many, and then they pop out like a shark. Oh my gosh. Like when they do that and then the brand just goes insane. Like I would love to kind of do something like that. Even if it's like,
you can
you know,
invest
how some people,
in me. Social proof.
I am investing in you.
I know you are.
But you know what I mean? Like there's so many, like how people are like literally like I put $100 into this brand and then even if you're making like a few $1,000s off of it, I think that's super cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. So what do you think about like healthcare? What is that going to look like for us?
It ain't good for me, girl.
Yeah.
It's you know,
because clearly those costs have gone up. Like
this is like a tough. I don't want to say this is like a tough subject, but I just feel like the healthcare industry to me needs help.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand how people are paying for health insurance, but then like they're still not covered for certain things. I mean, I just had this problem with my dental insurance.
Right.
Do you remember? And I had to pay like an X amount of money to get like something done. I don't know how people who are on maybe a lower income or have a lower budget are able to actually do these things. Like it's so unrealistic.
Yeah.
And I don't really know like how to change it. Like I'm not someone in the position to like, you know, change the healthcare system. I just think it's literally bonkers how much people pay for health and dental insurance. Like, I don't know how much you pay or maybe your work matches you, but for me, I will openly say it as as a self-employed person,
right,
it's almost $600 a month.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's interesting too.
And I'm like a healthy person. It's like basically like emergency in case the bus hits me.
Right.
I hate to say it.
Oh my gosh. Well, I hope that doesn't happen to you. But it's the same. I feel like the same thing about auto insurance, right?
See, I don't. Same thing that's too. Another thing. I don't have a car, so like I don't know. I haven't owned a car now in 5 years. I'm so unfamiliar with how much do you pay for auto insurance?
Oh gosh, mine is like all just lumped, like my condo insurance and auto insurance too. So I couldn't tell you off the top of my head the breakdown. But my point is like it's the same thing. Something will happen to my car and they'll be like, sorry, it's not covered. And I'm just like,
what am I paying for?
Exactly. How am I paying hundreds of dollars? How? And it's just like, oh, sorry. Yeah, that's not it. That's not in there. Or like, I think about some of these people in like Florida and stuff and like all these like, you know, natural disasters that keep happening. And now like insurance companies are like, yeah, we don't cover tornadoes, hurricanes, wind gusts.
That is so fleet up to me.
That is so bad.
Horrible.
Like
they literally just lost their entire everything.
So everything. What is the point?
Why even have it?
Yeah. Like, what are you covering?
I'm telling you, I get in this topic and I'm like, so what's the point of having then health insurance? If you guys aren't going to cover this, I got to pay this. And it's like, well, you know, for like emergencies. I'm like, this is an emergency.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah. it's crazy. And then I just feel terrible for, again, like people that are trying to like save and are trying to like get ahead, or
it's like you keep
barely
getting
making
like,
ends meet, and then
like,
something like that
pulls
happens.
you
That's what I'm
back.
saying. Then
Yep.
you get like a
How
flat
do you
tire, and
so
it's like,
how do you
crap.
stay positive and like keep pushing through?
Yeah.
For me, because that, I mean, I hate to say I go through speed bumps every week, but like, no, you do. Everyone's going through something. I just like really try to just take it one day at a time. And like, that's my new motto this year is like, let's just finances, investing, everything. Like, let's just take a breath and then take it one day at a time.
Well, and I think the number one thing is too, if you're listening, like you're not alone.
No.
You know, like whether you're just trying to figure out how to make ends meet, like I said, or, you know, if you are saving for your dream thing and then, you know, then Christmas comes around and you're like, oh, now I have to take that $400 I saved and spend it here, you know, on your kids or whatever. Like there are so many things and there are so many curveballs.
Yeah.
And I think just everyone needs to know that like, your curveball might not be mine, but we're in the same boat. And, you know, at the same, we're facing the same realities where, you know, even your day-to-day things, toothpaste, toiletries, like shampoos, whatever, even like
do not
get
get me started about
and now
toothpaste.
That's not the case. And it's not, I'm not even saying like, oh,
the whitening charcoal burnt bees one.
Like my Olaplex, like I can't even look at that stuff right now. Like that's not,
I'm like, well, L'Oreal, you're looking real sexy, baby.
Correct. Or it's like maybe, you know, 5 years ago, I could have been like,
run it,
you know,
run it,
let me get it. But your decision making, your priorities change. And I think sometimes too, like in all of this, in the past like 3 or 4 years, you realize some things aren't as important as others. You know what I mean? Like maybe I'll hold back on the broccoli because it's not in season and it's $5.99 for this bag, you know, when I know it could be $2.99, right? I'll just get the frozen one that's $1, like whatever it is. And like the decisions that you're making, like you ain't alone. And so I guess I want to like switch it to and talk about maybe some side hustles and like gig economy. So, you know, maybe picking up a new, I don't know, maybe you want to be a bar back for a couple days, or maybe you're like, you know what, I want to sell my clothes or something, like, you know, to make a few bucks.
I have never seen Facebook Marketplace so full.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I'm like, everyone is like, I need $100 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of this that I haven't used in 4 years.
Good point.
Like, seriously. I was just looking for a mirror, you know, and I'm like, wow. You got page.
There's options.
Wow. There's no fighting over things here.
Yeah.
Which I love a good little side hustle, like always bringing in like extra fun money. I'm always like a big believer in.
Well, and it's like, it's benefiting. Like, it's like, for example, if I'm selling the mirror, you know what I mean? It's like, maybe I genuinely don't need it anymore. And so, right. Like I'm not looking to make money. Maybe that's my thing. And then you're looking to save money.
Correct.
So it's like, help me help you.
Correct.
And we're all good. But I love that. And I think just to kind of tie this all in and bring it back is like Swap is kind of a good place where number one, you can make decisions that are smarter for you, your family, on your day-to-day households, you know, your basic clothing wear, like whatever it is, secondhand finds. If you really want something that is super expensive, like there might be a gently used version that you can grab. You know, we've bought Nike jackets for $1 and Barefoot Dreams blanket robes that we've seen for half the price. So it's like whatever kind of you're looking for, that it is available for you. And then the second part of it is obviously this like hustle, grind, gig mentality. There is no other time too, if you're listening to this and you do need some extra funds or getting things off your hands or whatever, like make that candle, make that lotion, give it a try, like at a flea market where it's not so, you know, risky as starting like your own business, but it is, you know. I don't know,
I
so
hate to say it, but like the difference between you and them is they started and you didn't.
Exactly. Yeah.
I will say it's 2024 and saving is sexy. Okay. So If you literally look around your house right now, your room, your kitchen, your bathroom, anything you see, we sell. I'm literally not joking.
Yeah.
Shower curtain. You need new garbage cans. You need new sheets for your bed. I mean, no joke, everything. So in times like we have been going through in the last couple of years, you know, there's really no other place to go. And honestly, if you read any of like the blogs and things that are hot for 2024, it's thrifting and secondhand.
Of course.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I don't know. And I think obviously too, like our goal here is always to give flea markets kind of the limelight and the voice and the power too. And it's because of these reasons. You know what I mean? Like the main thing that drives me every day is because I have been in these spots. My family's been in these spots. Like, and
you don't know what anyone is going through.
Yeah. And it's like in these, like you just said it, it's sexy and it's cool and it's trending now. It wasn't cool to wear a used shirt 20, 30 years ago. It wasn't like, you know, you were made fun of when you had an Aldi brand, and now Aldi is like trending and it's like
killing it.
I remember literally turning my like wheat thin packet around. I remember you telling me this.
It made me so sad.
Yeah. It's just like, because when you're a kid and someone has like, you know, the brand of Oreos and you have Fit and Active, I think is Aldi's brand. Like, it's just like, it is. It's true. It's like sad. It's such a bummer that you even
It's sad that you remember this too, but you do. You go through that like shame.
Of course.
It's like shame. Like you can't afford the normal.
And now I look back at my mom and I'm like,
wow,
what a bad bee, because she literally made that choice so that I can make, you know, different choices. Right. And I can appreciate different choices now. And so anyway, if you ever have any questions or like you're looking for something or whatever, like Rachel said, I mean, it is cool and Swap is sexy, obviously. And that's what we're trying to do
is sexy. Swap is sexy. You guys know we're trying to make flea markets hot again. Honestly.
And this is why, because we know what it's capable to provide people, whether it's income streams
we are
or
hip,
just
cool people. We know
stuff.
what is good and what's going on. And
Are we?
Yeah.
We are.
Obviously. The Swap sisters have your back.
Well, thanks for having this like pretty vulnerable conversation. I know we've had like a ton on inflation before and a bunch of financial, like, you know, tips and tricks that we've talked about. And obviously I think we kind of always talk about how prices have gone up and price comparison. So we'll continue to do that throughout the year. Yeah. I just kind of wanted to start this with like a raw conversation because it's not ending. The high cost of living, all the buzzwords of like increase and budgeting and all this stuff like is so hot right now. It's like, I couldn't not talk about it, you know? So thanks for being vulnerable. Cause again, it's not a really sexy topic to talk about. And I
only
know
for you, money, honey.
Well, thanks, Flea Fam. We appreciate you too. And, you know, again, you're not alone. So
no. And it's always, if you guys like this episode, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel.
Yeah. And thanks for listening to another episode of You,
Me,
and
the Flea.
See you next
week. Bye.